Tonight I want to give you information about Devin Kelley. He's a supposed shooter, of course today, the Texas Baptist Church mass shooting. 26 people dead. And this is just a horrific thing. It's just so strange and odd, all the circumstances with it. I want to talk about two things that stand out about this, of course, for those that are deep into conspiracy theory and false flags. Number one, the news and everybody involved in this keeps emphasizing the fact that he was very much into guns. And the interview the neighbors, and the neighbors say that he was just a normal guy, but he loved guns, and he would shoot them a lot of times at night. He would shoot these guns. That's what the neighbors say. Now, of course, we know that the government seems to want to take away guns and take away our Second Amendment rights. And many people believe, of course, deep into conspiracy theory, that these false flags are, that really aren't these true shooting events that take place. What happens is the government uses this as a reason to enforce more laws to take away our guns, right? Our Second Amendment rights, to take it away. Gun control. And, there are a lot of questionable things in regards to these shootings, a lot of similar circumstances and things of that sort. And this one, there's similarities between this and the Las Vegas shooting with Stephen Paddock, of course. Because what are the two things that, first of all, both of them seem to be a typical person. I mean, Paddock was well-to-do. This guy here, but both of them, nobody saw any warning signs or flags that they would do something like this. They were both of these men, this shooter here in Texas and also of course, Stephen Paddock, the shooter in Las Vegas, both described as very nice people. And the people that learned that these shooters did this were just totally shocked. Described as somebody that didn't have any reason that they would do this. Nothing stood out. So that's number one thing about these two shooters. Second, both of them, they picture as being obsessed with guns. This guy here, this shooter, Devin Kelley, the news just keeps reporting that he had guns, and that he was obsessed with them. The neighbors talked about how he would shoot them at night. So, this is what's emphasized in this. Somebody that was obsessed with guns and loves guns and then ended up shooting and killing a bunch of people. Okay, so now let's go back to Las Vegas shooter Stephen Paddock. Same thing. They painted him as somebody that had lots of guns. They say he had, 23 guns in the hotel, and then he had many more guns at his house. Same thing with this guy. All of a sudden just decided to buy a bunch of guns up and love guns, obsessed with them. Same thing with Stephen Paddock. Same similar situation, likable people. Those two things I just wanted to first mention because I find that quite strange indeed. And of course, anybody deep into conspiracy theory and false flags and just strongly believes the government is going to and trying and willing to do anything to take away our gun rights and all, they would love this, right, what I'm telling you right there. Because oddly, I don't know why that is, but that's the case between these two people. And so I want to give you a little bit more detail about this. Of course, this took place, Sutherland Springs outside of San Antonio, Texas today. And, right here, Texas church gunman killed 26 people, married to 26-year-old, and he was dishonorably discharged from the U.S. Air Force in 2014 after court-martial for 2 counts of assaulting his wife and child. So they're also painting a picture as being somebody that's abusive. But the neighbors and everybody else that knew him say nothing about that. Of course, that doesn't mean that somebody can't cause domestic problems and have possessiveness, jealousy, and all that, and be abusive, because we see that many times people hide that in their public personality compared to their private personality, where they're one-on-one with their wife or girlfriend or whatever. Sometimes that aggression takes place and they do abuse, so that is a possibility there. And you see a picture of him here. What we know about the shooter, his name's Devin Patrick Kelley, 26-year-old white male, of New Braunfels, a suburb of San Antonio. Now, this is another odd thing about it also. From what I understand, so yeah, he lives in the suburban area of San Antonio. But from what I understand, he knew none of the people where he went and shot him up. He didn't know anybody in that church, didn't know anybody in that small town. And so it was a random act. And that's very strange indeed, too. Why? So the question is, what is the motive? Why would he just go to this town that he knew nobody, didn't know the church, anything, and just shoot these people up? That's bizarre. That's like an MK Ultra type thing right there. I mean, that's strange indeed. And same thing with Stephen Paddock, Las Vegas shooter. No motive. No motive. Why just all of a sudden to go up in the hotel room and shoot all these people? You see what I'm saying? No motive. But of course, I explain exactly what happened in that case. But still, I'm just showing you the picture they're painting here. Very similar to both type of shootings here. He was found dead in a crashed car after a brief chase following the shooting. He was dressed in all black tactical gear with a ballistic belt and multiple weapons in his car. See, they're saying he had a lot of weapons in his car. You get it? They're pushing this gun thing. Fired outside the church, then went to the church and continued firing. I think 2 people were shot outside the church and the rest of them inside the church. Residents near the church intervened and knocked the gun out of Kelley's hand, then chased him in his car. Kelley showed off an AR-15 rifle on Facebook recently. Another thing, Facebook page, he's showing all these rifles and everything. Then he ends up being a killer, you know. Served in the military in the cargo demand and supply distribution, but was dishonorably discharged. Was married and believed to have taught a Bible study at Kingsville First Baptist Church. Now that's bizarre and strange too, because, I mean, how often do you have somebody that taught Bible study involved in the church go start shooting people? I mean, if they really wanted to take aim at somebody and Christians, this would be the way to do it, because this never happens. It just doesn't happen, you know. Very odd indeed. Let's see, a U.S. Air Force veteran. And see right here it says again, this is another one of these news reports. They're saying the FBI deleted the profile instantly. So this tells you right there what I've been telling you all along. The government has control of Facebook and many other social networking sites. It's ridiculous. They have control of it. I mean, you know, why is it that Facebook doesn't have control of their own site? Just, you know, government gets involved and they block pages, they remove them, they delete them. I mean, this is insane. You know, it's too much government control. Facebook should have the option to do what they want to do. Well, they want to make it private for a few weeks and then open it back up. I don't know. But apparently the FBI just went in and wiped it clean, from what I understand. So what is it was there they didn't want us to see? That's the question. Why they hide so much stuff? It's why they take it away. Why don't let us see the evidence? Why such a cover-up and hiding things, just like in the Las Vegas shooting? Let's see. Okay, yeah, see, recently shared a photo of an AR-15 style on Facebook with the caption, "She's a bad B-I-T-C-H," obviously. And here's some more pictures of him. With and without the beard. Without and with the beard, whatever. And like I said, they interviewed quite a few of his neighbors, and they said he was just a regular guy. Same thing with Stephen Paddock in Las Vegas. Just regular guys. Makes no sense. And here's some this is a screenshot here before they delete his Facebook page. And interesting enough, his favorite quote, now this of course being the Texas gunman today, supposed gunman, Devin Kelley, his favorite quote was, "I do not fear death. I had been dead for billions and billions a year before I was born and had not suffered the slightest inconvenience from it." And that's a quote from Mark Twain. So, they say he showed a rifle on Facebook page, taught Bible study, and lived in a wooded property from which a neighborhood heard gunfire at night. So they keep talking about how the neighbors heard him shooting all night. Well, at night anyway. And here's some more pictures from his Facebook page before it was deleted. And I think you'll find this. There's the one they're talking about there. She's a bad B-I-T-C-H right there. That's the one they're talking about. They're his pictures from Facebook. You see there he had face painted. Interesting. Like the Joker. And this is the woman he's married to. Married her in 2014. And she said she married her best friend, which of course is the shooter. Now this is quite interesting right here. I think you'll find this quite interesting. The church itself, even though it's in a small town, it has a YouTube channel, which you can search, of course. And that YouTube channel regularly taped the Sunday sermon, the Sunday services. And then they put it up on their YouTube channel. So what that means is there's a good possibility that the shooting was captured on video. Somewhere that video that's set up in that church, they turn it on before the service, when the service begins, and the shooting didn't start until after the service began. It may have recorded everything. These people getting shot and this shooter coming in there and doing this. So it's very likely that that whole shooting is captured on video. Then of course, who's got that now? We know it's going to be the FBI. And here's some more pictures. So yeah, I just want to give you information on this. Like this, share it. We're taking back the world. Woo! But interesting indeed, especially when I'm comparing these similarities between the Las Vegas shooter and now the Texas shooter. I think you'll find that quite interesting. Leave your comments and thoughts. Very interested to see what you have to say. Thanks.